What is going on, everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to create dope images in Capture One as a beginner. You don't have to have any prior knowledge. I started using Capture One about a month ago and I'm actually comfortable with it and have managed to create some dope images like this and this. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video if it's valuable to you, and let's get right into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Capture One right here, and the image that we're going to be using is this image right here. I think this image is perfect for what we're going to do because it is, as you can see, this side has a lot of dark areas and the subject is also not that lit. So what I want to do is to make sure that the subject is well lit and that the whole image looks good. So the first thing that I usually would like to do is to come here to auto adjust. This just helps me just have a starting point. If I like it, then we go with it. If I don't, then I just reset. You can reset right here, which also there's the undo button right here. So if we reset, it will come back to its original point, and all the details that you would have, or all the adjustments that you would have made will be reset to its original base point. So a couple things to note before we move forward is this side right here. So as you can see, we got the library. This is where all my libraries of images are. For example, if I click on this library, you see we have this library right here, but this is the library that I'm working with this image right here. Then we got T that we're not going to get into that for now, and this and style we're going to get into it later. But the section that we're going to be working on mostly is this adjustment part. So as you can see, if we start from here, we got our layers. So this is the image layer right here. You can add layers right here, and as you scroll up and down, you see more options like the brush styles, match the look, white balance, so on and so forth. So every time you see this toggle, which means that you can toggle it and see other things that will be underneath that. So we're just going to keep it like this. As I said, what I like to do is firstly do auto adjust, and as you can see, the image is already looking better. I think I already like it like this, but we can go further, right? So what I usually do is separate the background and the subject. And one of the things that I really like about Capture One is the ability, or the AI, to just automatically select the subject and the background using the AI. So right here we already have the subject option, we have the background option, and the people option. That is if we have a lot of people or if we just want to select people. So right here I'm just going to select subject, and it's gonna mask out the subject. What this does is it helps you manipulate only the subject without affecting other parts of your image. So that's the background or anything else. And masks are going to be very powerful as you're editing as a photographer. It doesn't matter which software you're using, these are just some powerful tools. So as you can see, it's perfect right here, which is one of the things, the reason why I love Capture One. It managed to mask out our subject perfectly. The next step that I like to do is do the same for background. So we are making sure that it also separates the subject and the background, so that when we're manipulating those individually. You're gonna see why in a second. Okay, cool. So we got this and we got that. So if I come to our image right here, I see, all right, this is what's happening. So the white balance, our image right now is balanced correctly, but if you go to the image, as you can see, these Kelvins right here, if we slide it back, it becomes more blue. If we slide it here, it becomes more yellow. So it just depends with the style that you're going for your image. Like this is already looking good, I already like it, but we're just gonna set it back. So by the way, if you want to reset a slider that you have slide to its original position, you just double click on it and then it resets back. All right, so for this image, so usually what I like to do is go to the subject right here and then start just color correcting it. So color balance. So here I might just, let's say, exposure, we can increase the exposure a little bit, and you see the exposure is increased. Usually I don't really play with the contrast, the brightness, saturation at first. What I usually do is I come right here to the high dynamic range and just play with it, so I can increase my shadows, decrease my blacks just a little bit according to the image. So once that is done, I like it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down to the colors. This is where you can manipulate single colors. So what I'm going to do is go to the orange color, because our skin tone is usually around the orange colors. So what I'm going to do is increase the saturation a bit, and see how that turns out. Okay, I think I kind of like it, but as you can see, they let's zoom in a little bit right here. Also, these tools right here, so this is the select tool and this tool is the pen tool. So if I select it, I'm able to just drag my image around to see the position where I'm at. So far with my image right here, okay, this is what I'm saying. I like it. So let me go back to our skin tone on our subject. So always make sure that whatever adjustment that you're making, make sure you are making them on the right layer. For example, this one is a subject layer, and that is where I want to make the changes that I'm making. So for example, increasing this brown, these oranges. As you can see, there's also some purples or some colors. What you can do is you can play with the hue, because that is the saturation right here. So the saturation is basically how intense a certain color is. So I can play with the hue, maybe put it towards the yellows a little bit, just like that. I think I like it. And always make sure that you also see your image full range, like the full image, instead of just playing on one part. As you can see right now, I think I already like the image. I think this image is already looking good. I mean, if we look at the before and the after, this is already drastic. It's already a drastic change, and we haven't even done a lot of things. So okay, I like that. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to zoom back in, because especially for black people, our skin tone is usually around the oranges and the reds. So right here, I think maybe it might be a bit too yellow, but when I'm looking at it from the whole picture, it's looking coherent. Everything is looking smooth. So I can go here to the reds, and I can increase the lightness, because the reds are also part of the things that will be darker here, because reds are a bit darker than oranges. So I can increase the saturation, the lightness a bit. Okay, just like this, and I can push them towards the oranges and the yellows just a tiny bit, which helps to enable to make the skin a little bit rich and pop out from the background. So far, as you can see, this is already looking good. Like, it's looking way good. The next thing that I usually do, if I zoom in, you're gonna see one of the reasons why I actually love Capture One is retouch. This retouch field right here. So if you are used to using Photoshop, or if you've seen people doing tutorials of frequency separation and all of that stuff, there's a lot of steps that you go through, and it can get messy, and even if you save it as an action, sometimes it just takes unnecessary time. That's just my opinion. Please don't attack me. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do here is on the retouch phase right here. As you can see, it already automatically detects the face. I can select show face, and this is the face that already detected right here. So I'm just gonna go to even skin. So as you can see, there's some blemishes and the texture of the skin. We just want to smoothen it out, so that the transitions of the light are smooth across the face, so that it's pleasing to look. So what I'm gonna do is, here where it says even skin, I'm gonna increase it, and it's gonna automatically prepare retouching. It's gonna automatically retouch the face, and I'm gonna have to judge and see how much I slide the thing. So this part right here is completely up to you. It just depends on your style. So let's say I put it all the way up here. Let's just see how. Okay, that's cool. And then the texture here, you can also increase the texture, maybe around the same size as well. Okay, let's increase it a little bit again. Okay, I think I like it. And with this, as you can see now, the image is looking a bit better. Now obviously, there's also more ways that we can make this thing look more professional and more pleasing to look, for lack of a better term. I'm going to come back here to the adjustment. So what I'm going to edit on now is the background layer. So our background mask right here, this is our background. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment, check with my exposure right here. Let's see what happens if I darken it. And as you can see, if I darken it just a little bit, it makes our subject pop. It's also important as a photographer, when you're taking your pictures and when you're editing, to know like what is the main subject, what is the story that you're trying to tell. For example, this one was a fashion shoot, so it's the most important subject, or the most important things right here, is the clothes and the subject, how they are draping on the subject, how they're looking, and the background will just be something that adds or complements to it. So I can already see that if I darken it, it's looking good. Let's see if I lighten it. If I lighten it up, it's a different style as well. It's not bad, it's good, it's just a different style. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to darken this a little bit and leave it right here on the exposure, and I'm going to come to our colors right here, basics. I'm going to go to blue, so this blue is right here. I'm going to check to see if I increase the saturation, what is going to happen. Okay, I think I like it a little bit. So if you have seen some tutorials on filming, on editing videos, even on pictures as well, there's something that people call the orange teal look. The way you can achieve it right here is, as you can see, we've increased the brightness. We've increased the saturation, but here the U on our U right here, if we slide to the right, we're adding more purples, and if we slide to the left, we're adding more teal. So for example, if I slide right here, I'm adding more purples. So I just want to add more teal because teal complements well with orange. So like that, as you can already see, this image is looking pleasing right here. So again, let me just remove this detection on the face, show face, remove it. So if I go to our before and after right here, this is how image, this is where we started, this is how image was, and this is how it is right now. This image is already looking fire, it's already looking good, but of course we can go further than this. So I'm just gonna come to my background layer again, come to my greens, and see if there's anything I can do with these greens so that they make the image look good. So if I decrease the saturation, it's not really that good. If I increase it a little bit, it's all right. Let's see if we play with the U. So sometimes you just have to play around with these sliders, play around to see like it's with this complement. Of course, it's good to learn the fundamentals, to know complementary colors, to know like some subjects have to pop out, like the depth of field, your background, your foreground, and some of those fundamentals. But it's also good to experiment, because I'm pretty sure the reason you got into photography or the reason why you're editing is because it's something that is fun to you, it's something you want to enjoy. And I think we forget that a lot of times when money is involved, and things just becomes more work. Okay, cool. I think I like it like this. I don't think there's anything I need to add except maybe just decrease it a little bit. Okay, okay. I'm gonna reset it. Okay, reset right here. Oh, another thing is this curve too right here. So if you increase here, as you can see, we're increasing the light. This part right here are the dark, so as you can see, these are the dark parts, and all the way up here is the light part. When you click on something, you add a point, so it enables you to edit a certain range, giving you a lot of freedom. So I'm just going to reset this. So this is the luma. What luma means is just basically light, so bright or dark. And then we got the reds right here. So if you got some reds right here, you can manipulate them and increase them or decrease them, whatever. So we're not going to do any of that. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go now to our subject again, because I want to increase some stuff. I'm just going to come right here. Nope, reset. I need the luma, and just increase just a little bit, just like that. You can't even tell the difference, you know. All right, but I think that's one of that's one of the important things to remember, that when you're making these changes, you don't have to make drastic changes on one slider or on one particular tool, because that would distort the image, and that's what a lot of amateurs and beginners usually make mistakes on. So I like that. I'm just going to select our image layer. This image is already looking good. I'm just going to come to our refine, and I like my images sharp. Now some people don't like the images sharp. It's totally fine. It's a stylistic option that people like. I like my images sharp, so I'm just going to increase the sharpness right here. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in to see how sharp it actually is. So just give me a second right here. Since this is a clothing a shoot for a clothing brand, for the clothes, so we actually want the details of the clothes to actually show up. I like it. All right, I'm just gonna come back right here. Now one of the final touches that I absolutely like is this image is already dope. It's already like I already like it. I mean, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to styles, and I'm gonna come here where it says creative edit. Now you can find other styles, you can download other styles. I just used the original, the ones that come with Capture One. So I'm just gonna come right here. As you can see, if we come to all summer, okay, I'm not really a big fan of it, but it's okay. This one is better. This one is better as well. This one is nice. This one is cool, but I don't actually like any of these. Let me see. This one is better though. So maybe let's go to film. Film looks cinematic. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. And you don't actually have to use these styles. You can opt in or opt out. You can just do whatever you want. So I'm actually not going to use any of these styles. Okay, so I like my image the way that it is right now. um then when it comes to exporting now, you just come right here and hit the export. So what I like about Capture One is that it's got all these pre-made templates that you got right here. For example, you see this JPEG is for web use, so for websites, things that are going on the website or basically on the web. Right here is full size, high quality. This one right here is Instagram optimized, quick proof preview size. So this is for when you're working with clients and you just want them to see, to select the ones that they want and have some edits, some notes of how you should edit or whatever. So I'm just going to keep it here at full size and export it. And right here it's exporting, and you can, while it's exporting, you can do anything else as well. You can still work in the app and work on other images as well. And once it's done with that export, it's going to tell you and that is done, and you can go and check it out. While we're waiting for this, I also want to show, oh, it's done now. I also want to show you another cool thing about Capture One as well. Is if I come to this image right here, I've already done the editing and the style and everything. You can see we have 3 layers right here. I can also copy all of the edits that we do here, copy them, and then go to another image with similar and similar setup or similar lighting. As you can see, these images are kind of the same, and I can apply. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a mask for the subject, and it's going to look for the subject, and it's going to create a mask for the background, and it's going to look for the background, and then apply those changes. And that is absolutely amazing, man. I don't want to lie to you, and it saves you a lot of time, especially if you're working with a lot of clients and you're on a time crunch. If you have images that are shot in one environment, one lighting, or one sort of setup scenario or scene, that saves you a lot of time. Then if sometimes it's just perfect, spot on, but sometimes you just have to go in and just do some tiny adjustments and then export your images. So as you can see right here, it did that, and this is perfect. Of course, it's too light right here and on the subject, so what I can do is just come to the subject right here, maybe decrease the exposure, put it back to where it was, and as you can see, this is fine. And maybe right here on the background, I can decrease it just a little bit like this, and our image is cool. So if you look at the before and after again, you can see this is the before, this is the after, and all of this was because we took the edits from this image and we put them to this image. So I'm just going to export this image as well. The same process, just full image. You can choose any other settings that you want and export.